Hi, and welcome to Design Thinking PDX. My name is Keith Tramper, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about empathy maps. Empathy maps are a common framework for developing empathy with your user. The goal is to begin to understand the needs of your user so that you can more confidently develop a solution that will meet their needs. The empathy map is divided into 4 equal quadrants. They help you detail what you see and hear during an interview or observation of a user, and then help you develop inferences for how they might be feeling and thinking. It's always important to keep your user at the center of what you do. That's why we record our user's name directly in the center of our empathy map. Empathy maps are most commonly used during an interview process. You might hear of people doing empathy interviews. And they're best done when you've got a team of people that you might be working with to interview a user. So if you have partners, you might assign one person to record what they see. That's what you're seeing your user do, reading body language and reading their reactions as they're conducting the interview. Another team member would record what they hear. This is exact data, the things that you heard them say. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say we wanted to interview a student named Heather about her lunch experience. We caught her as she was leaving the lunch line and asked her a few questions about what her experience was like. The teammate recording what they saw noticed that her face turned red. She made direct eye contact. She had some tears in her eyes at some points during the interview, and she was very animated. The teammate who was recording what they heard noted a few phrases that she said. "I only get 2 minutes to eat my lunch. It takes forever to go through the lunch line. I have to pick up my milk at one place, my food at another, my sides at another, and then I have to pay at yet another place. There's people everywhere, and it's hard to get to where I need to go." After the team has recorded the data that they saw and heard during the interview, now it's time to get together and infer. During inferences, you start to think about what might they have been feeling and what might they have been thinking about during the interview. This ultimately puts you in Heather's shoes so that you can begin to empathize with her experience. So the data that we recorded under the C quadrant is going to help us understand how they might have been feeling. Let's take a look at what this looks like with Heather. We had data that noted that her face turned red, she made direct eye contact, she had tears in her eyes, and she was very animated. We can start to infer that she might feel really angry and frustrated, or even completely overwhelmed with the experience, and maybe a little bit hopeless. From the here quadrant, we can infer about the things that she might have been thinking about while she was responding during the interview. So when she said, "I only get 2 minutes to eat my lunch, and it takes forever to go through the lunch line," we are inferring that she might be worried that she doesn't have enough time to be able to eat her lunch. Her other 2 statements, "I have to pick up my milk at one place, my food at another, my sides at another, and then pay yet another place," or "there's people everywhere and it's hard to get where I need to go," help us infer that the lunch line needs some organization. And overall, she needs a less stressful experience. So from our interview with Heather, we've developed this empathy map. And the empathy map that we see here gives us some data and helps us infer how she might be thinking and feeling. Chances are, just hearing this story and thinking a little bit about her experience, you have a better sense of the problem that you want to try to solve for Heather. And that's where we head next. We take the data and inferences that we have and begin to define the problem that Heather has. And we can do that more confidently, knowing that we've taken the time to really get to understand Heather's experience. If you want to do this, get your own printable empathy map at bit.ly/pdx-empathy map. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on Design Thinking PDX.